Okay, I think we're going. We're live. This is the recording of the CoMedeorological report. This is hard to explain, but every week we make this radio show, and at 7 p.m., Frankie McDonald shows up, and we hit record here and record what we're live streaming, and then I make a show out of it tomorrow. It's confusing. Please welcome to my channel. Do hit subscribe and like. We're going to talk about all kinds of weather, and we're going to have Brandon Hauk, the radio weatherman from Brooks, Alberta, with us very soon. And Frankie McDonald, of course. Canada just won gold. Congratulations, Canada. And I'm just sharing the link around, trying to make sure everyone knows. Check out our weekly show. We're live right now. There is some weather stories in BC already. It's going to be hard for me to talk because I broke a tooth this week, and every time I talk, it's punishing. So the rapid fire Joey only talking is disappearing because of my These are the problems that a guy like me faces. So if you just give me a second here, we're going to look first. This is the GFA graphic forecast area map. Navigation Canada puts these out. They're a little complicated. So here comes the trough. These purple lines, that's the trough. You can see the low pressures here, right? In behind the trough, maybe even some thunder and lightning. Freezing rain, that's what this icon means. You see here, FZRA, freezing rain. This is what the pilots are using, right? So this is stuff they need to know. It weakens as it crosses the mountains. So that's kind of cool. Good to know for us in the interior. But the island's certainly getting some exciting weather. Look at this. See these little music note looking things with a whole bunch of lines on them. Each one of those lines indicates 10 knots. So wind traveling at, so I can't even tell how many that is there, at 5 or 6 or, or more, 50, 60 knot winds. Now a knot is even larger than a mile, right? A nautical mile. So much faster than, so maybe that's 100-kilometer-an-hour winds or something like that in some of those places, right? Heavy winds. That's in 6 hours time. And we see there's a little bit of a chance of freezing rain at this hour right now in southern BC. Looks like the Kootenays, looks like the East Kootenays as well. Still see that thunderstorm icon there. That's the sort of weird T with a lightning bolt type thing. Broken layers in the north. So it's definitely affecting the weather, but we're, not getting bad weather in the interior right now. Overnight, it's going to try to settle into the mountains, and you have a warm front in behind it. Heavy snow in the mountains, still strong winds up into Haida. That gives you a little bit of an idea. This is what the pilots look at, right? So that gives you an idea of what we're talking about here. Currently in British Columbia, public alerts. I know people for the regular cast of the show is just a little bit behind because people are watching World Junior Championship, and maybe no one's going to come on to the warnings, right? And we could see from those I don't know why, but I'm having trouble getting that to open. Here it goes. 1 second here. A low pressure system offshore will continue moving northward tonight. Strong southeast winds of 70, 90 kilometers an hour will continue to Harrow Strait, expose sections of the Strait of Georgia. They will ease late this evening across southern regions and near midnight over the north. Another low pressure system from the Pacific Ocean will bring strong winds again Friday night. Damage to buildings, such as to shingles and windows, could occur. High winds may result in power outages and fallen tree branches. So that's the story at the moment. And welcome. Chat disconnected. I hope everything's going on okay here. Welcome to the show. I hope it's working. Brandon Houck's here, so that's working at least. He'll be with us in 1 second. And he's upside down. Hey, upside down, Brandon. Can you hear me all right?
Hell, I am upside down.
How's my audio, Brandon?
No volume.
Oh, you're testing your new system, so you may not even be aware that I'm talking right now.
Right.
Pre-show for the recording. Can you hear me at all?
I can hear you now.
Oh, right on. You're upside down, by the way.
Yeah. Why the hell am I upside down?
I don't know. It's kind of cool.
It is.
You could just leave it that way. I mean,
well, it's just like Spider-Man, hey?
Yeah, man. Nice new microphone.
Well, thanks. Yes.
And so I got the handy Zoom here tonight because my computer's camera is working.
All right.
Imagine. Yeah, it's awesome.
Upside down.
Heavy winds on the BC coast right now.
Oh, yeah. Pretty strong winds.
Oh, good. Christine Jensen is out there and she reports that she's hearing us. I think you're the only person watching, so welcome.
Excellent. Now,
I've just been talking about the GFA for tonight for British Columbia. And we have a heavy trough on the coast, putting a lot of snow and rain and wind in places. Wind warnings for 70, 90 kilometers an hour down by Victoria and places like that. It's been some incidents in the mountains for avalanches this week, Brandon.
oh, yeah. Yeah. Especially last week there with the high avalanche risk. This week, the avalanche risk isn't as high, but still, yeah, quite. With the warmer temperatures, dealing with the extreme avalanche conditions.
Yeah, well, I think the thing is that really large avalanches are still possible, right?
Yeah.
Large scale ones. So, and I mean, this one that was reported today is down on Mount Seymour.
Okay.
Ski resort there.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's again not a place where you expect to see a whole lot, but I mean, nothing really happened.
Oh, yeah.
A slab was triggered and nobody was hurt. I do have the image here upside down, Brandon.
Okay. I'm just trying to figure out how to flip myself from upside down to right side up here.
So you see there's some convexity slid when the snowboarder rolled over the top. So he wasn't caught up in it, but got to witness a small scale slide. And that's, you know, right outside Vancouver. That's looking over Vancouver. Hey, what did you do?
I went into the settings and I flipped myself around and did the hokey pokey.
Later on, when we're recording, you can like flip it back and forth and it might be quite funny.
Of course. Yeah. Now I'm just going to find a background here if I can. Let me see. I gotta try to find settings again. Anyways, Where'd it go? Here's the settings here. Okay. Oh, yes, this is where I want to do. Okay. Backgrounds and there is none in here. Ah, I'll do that later. Okay. All right.
All right, so good job. Okay, I got another one here. This is in the Selkirks, West Rogers winter restricted area. So pretty close to where you shouldn't actually be going, I guess. But okay.
Cool.
Just dug a pit in relation to where we wanted to ski down. And decided to ski down, skied 5 to 10 meters, ski left of the pit to avoid convex roll, avalanche triggered. Isolilowit campground. It's not a really good report. Sorry, I didn't make the report. I broke my tooth this week in the back, and basically life isn't worth living anymore.
Yeah.
Every time I talk, it's just like, ugh.
Wow.
So I need you to talk a lot.
Okay. Well, good thing I got this microphone so I can talk all night long. Oh, what else can I do on here? I haven't used this internet version for a while.
There's a slide outside Whistler. Doesn't say really anything. Skier rolled over the top.
Yep.
So yeah, nothing catastrophic yet. Just lots of little ones.
Yeah, just lots of little ones. That's okay too, I guess. Till we get more snowpack moisture coming in for next week.
And of course, there was the person who was injured this week.
Yeah.
With life-threatening injuries.
Whew. It's no good.
Right, you set up. So what's your stories this week for weather?
My story hasn't been much of anything going on at all on the weather front. It's just been high pressure, sunshine, and giggles. That's all that's been going on this week. Well, since last week's little freezing rain episode, I'll probably touch base on that quickly. That was a rough day. That was after Christmas there, since I wasn't on last week's show. And then, flipping a couple other extra stories. Talk about, oh yes, bird calling maybe.
Hey, that's you're really enthusiastic there.
Oh yeah, that's typically the case. Every
no,
day.
it's not. Yeah, I mean, there isn't much in BC to talk about. I mean, the worst weather's in California. What about the tornado weather this week? Anything happened there?
There were a couple tornadoes. Nothing too significant. Just quite a bit of thunder. I like that video. The motorsports place. They got hit by their truck. Got hit by lightning and turned the truck on. That was an awesome video.
It turned the truck on, did it?
Turned the lights on the truck. Bolt. That was pretty awesome. And then there's video. It was on my page there. I'll send you the link of it actually.
That is that's something, yeah.
And it just sparks. It just probably one of the best videos of lightning I've seen for quite a while. Just send in Messenger. I'll send it to you here. There we go. And I'll post it in there. There we go.
This is the Emerald Lake slide that I was talking about in my video the other day. That did get some views. And this is the one where the skier triggered a steep convex roll and was carried 40 meters down, sustaining life-threatening injuries. 4 more skiers in the area witnessed the slide and skied over to assist and provided first aid while notifying authorities. Avalanche was categorized as 20 meters wide, 200 meters long, and 80 centimeters deep, basal facets and rocks. So, yeah, that person got very lucky. And, you're in the trees thinking you're safe. And so what's important to know about all of these incidents this week too, is that they're across a wide swath of the province. So even though it says considerable and moderate for avalanche conditions, really it depends on which aspect you're facing. And, this is when you're skiing somewhere you think is pretty safe and you end up. What's important to know about all of these incidents this week too, is that they're across a wide Imogen province. So even though it says considerable, you gotta hit your mute per second, Imogen. Avalanche conditions, really it depends on Imogen, you gotta mute yourself. This is
Son of a
when your
bitch.
Stover's coming. Everything's reverberating back through you.
Joey.
Hey, Joe Stover.
That should be better.
Man,
Hey, you're alive. What the hell?
is good. That is good to see you.
Here I am.
I'll be right back. Okay.
You'll be right back.
Eyes.
Brandon, Imogen.
Good evening.
My dear friends. How about those hockey playing Canadian kids?
What?
Wow. What a game.
What a game. You ain't kidding. You ain't kidding. You ain't kidding.
The golden goal. That's right.
Yeah, well, it was close. Like those games were so close. I watched that bronze medal game this afternoon. That was wild as well. So
Oh, yeah.
it was a day of awesome hockey.
That's good. Yeah, I didn't watch the bronze medal game, but it was I got the gold medal game, and it was good. Good timing too. I like these 5 o'clock hockey games.
Yeah,
I thought I'd bank on watching the Leafs and Kraken, and that was very disappointing. But
yeah. Why would you do that?
that's good, because here's why I did it: so that I would get sick of the game, turn it off, and set up the show properly.
Oh, word up. Well, it turns out I don't have hockey tonight, so that's what made me free tonight. So
That is so good to hear, man.
yeah, man. It's been a while. It's been a while since I've been on the CoMedeorological report. Yeah.
It's been a while, man.
Been a while.
And you and Trey are two of my favorite extra guests that come on. And
yeah, I miss it being regular. It's just been, life has just been fucking bananas. So, but I'm gonna grab a pop and grab a charger here so my iPad doesn't die, and I'll be right back with you.
Right on. We still got a few minutes till Frankie shows up and the recording starts. I broke a tooth in the back of my mouth, and every time I talk, I wish that
You wish for death.
I'd never even existed.
You're wishing for death.
But
Well,
how's my
yes.
audio? How's my audio?
Sounds good.
Yeah, it's way
Yeah.
better than it was the other day when it was sucking out loud.
Good, good. I'm gonna keep trying to boost it if I can.
And if I need to be turned up here, I will turn it up.
Check.
I have it turned.
Check. Oh, that must be pretty good. I can see it on my little. It's too bad that they make the mic thing so small. Like, we're trying to be professionals here, and it's down there, and you can see the little thing.
Mhm.
What? The little thing.
The
Why are you
little
looking at
mic.
Brandon's little thing. Brandon's mic is fine. Brandon's mic is glowing with a hellfire that propels Brandon.
That's right.
I'm talking about Brandon. I'm talking about my screen.
The most G-rated human you
little-
will ever meet.
The little audio monitor you have, that's about 1 centimeter by 1 centimeter. at the
Oh, yeah.
bottom
Better
left of your
setup.
screen.
Watch this. I can go
Oh,
back.
yes.
Wow.
I don't need.
It's all just flash. You
too
flashy
bad.
bastard.
It's too bad you couldn't clap. So that's the pizza bowl. I've never seen that one before.
Brand new as of like an hour ago.
You don't want to know what you did to get it.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
That was
That
a
is-
present from my pet couch guy. It's one of my roommates right now. So yeah, we went to the bud shop and I was looking at the pizza slice and he went and bought it out from under me and gifted it to me because I know some of the
Nice.
best people in the world.
That's
Yeah.
great. I gotta
Doesn't
turn
take
one
much to
light
impress
off.
me. Zoom user. I know that guy.
Hey,
Hi,
Frankie.
Frankie.
I'm doing
Okay.
great so far.
We got Joe, we got Pete, we got Frankie, we got Imogen, we got Brandon. I'm going
Good.
to hit record here in about 10 seconds and we'll start.
Are you now?
Right on. Okay. Are you ready?
Always.
Good morning, Prince George, and good afternoon, Winnipeg, Manitoba. This is the CoMedeorological Report. I am Joey Only, your host. This is your show about how much the weather sucks in Canada. Comedy plus meteorology. Hello to all you meteorology students in the University of Winnipeg. I know that you're all listening very intently, and I just want you to know that I broke my tooth and I hate my life, and talking is really hard. But because I love making this show and I love talking about weather, we're doing this for you. That's right. I'm Joey Only. I live here in Wells, British Columbia, and you can hear us on CFR 88.7 FM in Prince George, Saturday mornings at 10 a.m. local. And you can hear us at CKUW 95.9 FM noon in Winnipeg on Mondays. Wow, talking is so hard, but that's okay because I got lots of people to do the talking here for me. That's what the show is all about, right? We have a whole panel of comedeorologists, comedy plus meteorologists, comedians that you don't know if they're comedians, you don't know if they're meteorologists. It doesn't friggin' matter all that much. With us tonight will be off the top of the hour, Frankie McDonald, as per usual. But then we have Brandon Houck, our Western Canada radio weatherman. He's down in Brooks, Alberta, where he appears regularly on 105.7 FM, real country radio, and where he talks about smoke and barbecue and things like that. So there he is with his brand new mic. We're glad to have him. Now, another radio person you might know from CKUW 95.9 FM is Joe Stover. How do you do? Review Joe Stover. How do you do, Joe? I'm so glad to see you. And we'll be talking to him real soon. Imogen Cookie Bailey down in Victoria, British Columbia. She's not on any radio shows, actually. But she's just Imogen. And you're going to get what you get with her.
Good luck.
And she made a couple of appearances on Roger Wild Child Show. Angie TV no longer does his podcast.
That's right. Imogen's always taking photographs down there at boxing events and things like that. And you will find Imogen selling Venerous Supplements, her her product line that she sells. We also got Pete Galenko down in Colorado. He's our driving around guy with I can never remember because I've never taken. It's like a taxi, but you use your cell phone to call it.
A lift,
And
yeah.
Lyft.
Did you hear about this? A Cowboy Frankie Bell bobblehead is now available for pre-order. People can get it's going to be released in May. People can pre-order it right now.
I really want my Frankie McDonald bobblehead cowboy hat. And Frankie McDonald, how are you doing this week so far?
I'm doing great so far. Since the pending weather for Friday, I worked at the Mayflower Mall on Thursday, maintenance department. That was today, and I'm doing great so far. It's going to bring lots of freezing rain in Montreal. Is where base guy is. Lots of freezing rain going on in Montreal as of right now, and Colorado's getting the weather bomb. It's the way to make California's getting the weather bomb. San Francisco's getting high winds, heavy rain. Los Angeles already had a lot of rain.
Yeah, Los Angeles probably
The
has
worst
the
weather in the
worst
world
weather.
is California bomb cyclone. That's the thing. Australia is getting warm weather, cold air, and hot weather in Australia. Lately, it's been lots of stormy weather in Europe too, and lots of rainstorms and things like this. Moscow, Russia, so cold there. they're getting into bitterly cold weather in Moscow, Russia, and up around Yakutsk, Russia, it's bitterly cold too.
What about the big storms in the Atlantic Ocean right now?
Right now, big storms in the Atlantic Ocean right now, and so there's no huge storms in the Atlantic Ocean. There's a big huge storm in off the coast of California.
Yeah, the one in California could put up to 10 feet of snow in the mountains, some are saying. Do you
Yeah.
think that's possible?
Yeah, and Nevada's getting some snow too in Utah and all those places.
How often do those places get snow, Frankie?
Wyoming and Montana and those places in Idaho where Roger the Wild Child lives. They're getting lots of snow there right now, even where Roger lives.
What about in Japan this week, Frankie?
They're getting cold weather in Japan as well to bring the snow in coastal areas of Japan and rain.
What's going on in Argentina?
It's really hot out in Argentina. They're bringing a lot of thunderstorms and rain in Venezuela, Colombia, Brazil, Peru, and all these places in Central America. Same with Uganda, Congo, Kenya, and all these places. They're in the rainy season. Same with Indonesia's in the rainy season. As right now, bringing so much thunderstorms and rain there right now in Indonesia, Papua New Guinea, and Australia, Northern Territory.
What's the weather like on the planet that Cal Welf is from?
Strange weather.
What kind of strange weather, Frankie?
Don't know.
So we're introducing to the world Cal Welf, Frankie's new word that he invented actually back 20 years ago, 30 years ago or something. But Cal Welf is an alien from another world. What world is Cal Welf from, Frankie?
Some kind of strange planet I don't know of.
Ah, okay. How many videos did you make this week on your YouTube?
I just made a Caldwell video and things like this. I invented the word. I posted a couple of comedy videos so far.
Did you make any weather videos this week too?
I did a weather report for Los Angeles rainstorm.
What's working like at the Mayflower Mall like again? Is it nice to be back to work?
Yes, it's nice to be back to work for me again. I got something else to say. Cowboy Frankendoll bobblehead. It's now available for pre-order on National Bobblehead Hall of Fame, Wisconsin.
How much do those sell for in Canadian dollars?
$30 American.
So what's that? $31 Canadian?
There's the one limited edition one that's a bit more too.
What's one's that, Pete?
It's the dark blue one that matches Frankie's usual jacket. I think that one's an Amazon exclusive for like $50.
Anybody got questions for Frankie McDonald this week on the CoMedeorological panel?
I do have a question. How hot does it get in Moscow? He said Moscow is experiencing very cold weather right now, but in summer, what is it like?
Really hot weather in this July and summertime in Moscow, Russia. Siberia gets extremely hot weather in the summer as well.
Extremely hot. How hot is that? Like in Celsius, how hot does it get?
It gets over 30 Celsius.
Wow.
I would think Siberia is comparable to Winnipeg in the summertime, because Siberia is a big place. We think of Siberia as being like just the coldest place on earth. But actually, when you look at how much of the earth Siberia takes up, it's this really, really huge place, and it extends very far south too in parts of it, right? So you can imagine it gets some pretty hot weather, like the prairies might get. Maybe if you go a little further north up to where Joe Stover lives, for example, like that, and you don't get quite the same heat up there, do you, Joe Stover? But it doesn't. You have to go too far south sometimes to find it.
Yakutsk, Russia could get well over 30 degrees to 40 degrees in the summer months.
Ouch.
I have a question for Frankie McDonald. Who would win? Who would you rather win in a hockey game? The Toronto Maple Leafs or the Ottawa Senators?
I go for Senators. You go for Leafs.
Not me. Joey can go for the Leafs. I don't like the Leafs. Joey goes
for the Leafs. I go for the Senators.
Who do I go for?
Jets.
Yeah, that's right.
Joe Stover, what happened with the World Junior game tonight?
Canada
Well,
won.
Canada won. Frankie knows. It was Canada was up 2-0, and Czechia, I can't remember how they pronounce that now, but Czechia
Tied up the game. They went into overtime. Canada scored.
Canada scored. It was a beautiful goal. It was a really good tournament. You know, even from today, I watched that bronze medal game between Sweden and the United States, and it was the final score was 8-7 in overtime. So it was just a really good tournament all around. But the good guys won, let's say.
Anybody else got questions? Frankie McDonald?
I'm going to circle back to frog rain. I do have a question. Now, has Moscow ever had an occurrence of frog rain in winter or summer?
In summer, they get fog rain. In the winter, in summer.
Perfect. Thank you.
Frankie, what's the weather
Eco.
supposed to be like this next week in Colorado?
It's going to bring cold weather in Colorado. The possible polar vortex is going to hit for Colorado in late January.
Where's the polar vortex?
I don't like the sound of this.
There's my fans.
Hey, Frankie's fan.
Hey,
Here they
oh,
come.
they're running over to you.
Sprinting.
Well, who
So-
wouldn't? Who wouldn't
So
go
Frankie-
sprinting over to Frankie McDonald?
Yeah, no, he's outside of an A&W, correct? That's where he usually...
No, you're on call with him? Joey Levi. I see him.
Yeah.
I fucking love you. Frankie was telling us.
Joey, you're on mute. Hello, Frankie fans.
How you guys doing?
Joey, you're on mute.
Joey,
Oh, yeah,
unmute.
I'm on mute. Sorry.
Oh,
I've
yes.
been doing the space bar mute
Yes.
thing.
Oh,
How
yeah.
you guys doing, Frankie fans?
You
How
right
you doing,
here.
guy?
I love you.
Right on. We love you too. Welcome to the CoMedeorological Report. This is our radio show about how much the weather sucks. How do you guys find the weather in Sydney?
I feel you. It's like fucking 20 minus degrees.
Joey
20
gotta edit out the
20
the
minutes.
The
cuss 'cause it's going on
enthusiasm.
the radio.
Joey's gonna edit out the enthusiasm.
The
Oh, there you go,
enthusiasm
everybody.
because it's for the radio.
I love that vape.
What do you boys got me go today? Why?
Let's
You
go,
got
Mars.
some donair sauce? What?
No, we just came from Cineplex.
Oh, just cinnamon. How much that set you back now these days? $5? What?
No, I wish. Sent me back like
Jeez.
$50.
$50?
Why?
Come on.
How much icing is on that? Lots of icing? There better be.
Talking about this?
Oh. Oh, I thought you said you were at Cinnabon. What the hell?
Oh, no. We went to Cineplex.
Yeah, they went to see a
Cineplex.
movie.
Oh, well, no wonder.
yeah, you'll go bankrupt.
I got
there,
my
man.
muting thing figured
Oh,
out.
so
I'm
everybody
no-
went to Cineplex.
No wonder all that stuff costs you. Like everything at Cineplex, like every single kernel
Yeah,
costs you
good
about
luck.
$2.
You have to sell your soul and sign over your firstborn to get in that place.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
you got to use your scene
I just
card.
got
though.
some
Alright, Frankie,
dollar
get back to your people.
powdered donuts.
right on, guys. Thanks for stopping by.
Little did they know that they are now superstars.
That was awesome. They were so enthusiastic that they almost got killed coming on the show.
Almost got ran over.
Did you hear about this? They get the Frankie Doll bobblehead wearing a cowboy hat. Picture not yet revealed. You can pre-order it right now.
Oh yeah, that's what's up.
Well, we were talking briefly there about Pete's weather in Colorado. He was asking Frankie, Brandon, you may be a little bit of an expert about that part of the world, seeing as it's just a little bit south of you. What is going on? I mean, it's been really boring, hasn't it been?
Yeah, it's been pretty boring. That was awesome, by the way. Yeah,
It was
we
awesome.
have high pressure kind of locked in place, kind of a ridge of high pressure. So it's kind of the Rex block pattern here. And that's been keeping, our temperatures even all the way down to Colorado, for example, seeing some pretty pleasant weather last couple of days. And we have the storm systems on the Pacific coast, and we're going to continue to see atmospheric rivers. So we got all the problems, especially California up to Oregon and through Washington states there with a torrential amount of rain. We're going to continue to be dealing with a deluge of rain. I saw a weather model yesterday hinting at about possibly seeing some rainfall amounts exceeding well over 300 millimeters on the coastal sections on the Pacific coast here. So that is what we are going to be dealing with here for the next little while. And that will, we have, as I mentioned, high pressure in place, and we do have we had a pretty impressive system last week that produced, freezing rain for at least 6 millimeters of freezing rain, and that caused all kinds of problems after Christmas there. That was the only big weather event since Christmas, is that freezing rain. We had a big rainbow as well, so pretty impressive to see a rainbow at the end of December there, but temperatures have been staying relatively below freezing for the last number of days, and we will see the little bump up in temperature as we go to the weekend here with that tight inversion in place. We get that westerly flow kicking in, and even into next week, we're going to stay on the mild side. No big weather events here in the prairies, maybe just a couple clipper systems. That would be about it.
Joey, I sent you a link to chat, Zoom chat.
Yes, I saw, Frankie, and we'll be playing your video about the Frankie bobblehead too this week, so that will be in the show. Canada. There's actually not a lot of weather stories anyways. I mean, the cold place is Sanaria, Jack, Nunavut, minus 38, plus 12 in White Walk, minus 10 in Prince George. And we're looking to be over seasonal for quite a few days here. Look at Saturday, 0, Sunday, -1, Monday, -2. It's not even cold at night. Gets down to -10 Monday night, -11, cloudy Tuesday, Wednesday. But really, not much of this weather that's hitting the Pacific coast is anywhere near a big story for the interior, and it's definitely not making its way in the prairies. The average high at this time of year, -5, average low, -13. The lowest temperature ever recorded in 1991, -42.2. I mean, this isn't really interesting. It's hard to talk about weather when there's not much going on. That's just the way it is. What about out towards Manitoba, Brandon? What is anything different for them where Joe Stover lives?
Well, next week they're going to have to deal with the Arctic air mass coming down from the north, especially towards the middle part of next week. Looks like we will see probably not as cold in southern Manitoba as it will be up in Churchill. We'll see those temperatures dive to the -30s there. So that will be a lot of fun for next week. And that cold Arctic air mass looks to dive to the
The
east.
end of January, you got the cold air heading for Texas in late January. Cold air is going all the way down Texas.
So we may have stories coming, but not for a few weeks. And this is kind of typical in January, where it's like winter just sort of settles in and not much is going on, because you need kind of warm weather somewhere for cold weather to chase, to make storms and make stories. Joe Stover, -30, you're kind of used to that. I mean, you got the big beard for a reason, don't you, bud?
Yeah, it's kind of a necessity this time of year, but so far January has treated us all right. It's a very relatively mild -17 out right now, and that's for those that are listening. It's nighttime where I'm sending this in from, so it's so -17, not so bad. And like Brendan said,
that'd be the bottom end of what's normal here for a cold night in January.
Yeah, like
you're in Churchill, Manitoba, for crying out loud.
True, but hey, don't sell yourself short there, Wells. You get pretty frigid too, But yeah, it's supposed to. It's actually going to get up to -9 on Saturday, which is again very nice for these parts. But then, like Brandon says, it's we're going to start seeing the temperature plummet around Sunday night. And so we'll see how that goes for folks, making sure that you have your vehicles plugged in. That's a must in northern Manitoba. No, actually must in lots of places. I'm sure they plug their vehicles in wells.
Yeah, well, we had to when we hit that -44 day. But the difference is, sure, we get a few cold moments, but you have polar bears and we definitely do not.
Yeah,
although there's tundra. I can see tundra on top of the mountain here. I mean, there's a little bit of the Arctic up there, man.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Literally. Weather joke, comedian. Pete Pete doesn't like that one. Pete does not like that one.
That was a sort of laugh. Pretty cool.
I'm starting to worry that Joe is going to become a dad soon. Already working up to the dad jokes.
Pete, on a scale of one being the worst and 10 being the most awesome, where would you rate that weather joke? Remember, I got feelings, bro. Remember that before you answer. I got feelings.
It's so cold that I feel numb to your feelings right now. It was not the. I don't know. Is that a good answer?
Well done.
Sitting in
Pete.
this car off.
It's 24 degrees here, which is below freezing. In Celsius, that'd be pretty. That'd be above freezing. And I don't know.
No, 32 is freezing.
I don't know, that
32
might
is our
be
zero.
Zero right there.
Yeah, 32 is our zero.
And did you
Yeah.
hear what Monica's
I thought-
doing great these days?
This is what makes so much sense about the Canadian system, Pete, because when you get to zero, if you go above it, things melt. If you go below it, things freeze. It's a really simple system.
Yeah, but it's
Yeah,
there's
It's like,
not
what
enough
is 32?
freedom.
It's just,
There's
someone
not
just picked a
enough-
number. Just like they rolled some dice or something. They're like, okay, 32.
There's not enough freedom involved in the
Hey, we got all sorts of wonderful arbitrary whatchamacallits that we love to press upon the rest of the world to make
units.
their happy conversions, and we have a lot of fun with our arbitrary systems of sorts.
Joe Stover, what's been going on with the How Do You Do review show?
Well, just with a busy bear season and sickness here and there, it kind of been stalled for a little bit, but the engine's still running. We got a new episode that's coming out tomorrow that my buddy Tim Friesen is going to host. It's his kind of year in review of the best in 2022. But I hope to be back with new episodes the week after that, because it's it's time. It's time to make good radio, Joey. Don't you know?
Well, I guess the
And
thing is,
and Brandon, of course. Too.
with a music show, at least you can run reruns a lot more successfully than you can with a weather show. It's like, if you run a rerun of this show, it's like, maybe if you run it in a winter episode in the summer, it'll be interesting or something. But you don't want to confuse people by running a weather show from 3 weeks ago, and then everyone's like, "Oh my God, there's a big, there's a crazy massive storm heading to Ontario. I heard a crazy blizzard," and they're like, "Again?"
Oh, it'd be like
Freaking out.
like War of the Worlds Canadian weather style.
Yeah, I'm your host, Joey
And
Only
boys,
Orson
and lots of
Welles.
severe weather down in the States. Southeastern United States is getting a lot of severe weather, tornadoes and thunderstorms.
Yeah, that's true. They had a few tornadoes this week, eh, Frankie?
Yeah.
Anyone know anything about these tornadoes this week?
You mean aside from the fact that they're just awesome? No. Swirly wind, super cool.
Oh, I know something about tornadoes. I heard that they're going to film a sequel to Twister. I learned that this week.
I've been hearing that
Really?
was possible.
It's happening.
Oh, Brandon Hout can confirm.
Oh yes, I can confirm. I saw it on what do you call that movie site? Somewhere on the internet, but yeah, I can confirm it. Oh yeah,
Back in
Twisted
the year
2,
2016,
2014,
Independence Day
2024.
sequel was out.
Word up.
Back in the year 2016, Independence Day Resurgence came out. That's a sequel to Independence Day.
Right. Yeah. It was one of those movies that they probably shouldn't have made, but it was made.
That's
a
most
big-
movies, man.
That's a big list. Yeah, Imogen, you're
Yeah.
right. That's a big list.
Right. I'm trying to find some weather stories this week.
Well, I
Well,
got
But there's none.
There's
like,
floods out. There's floods out in California, and up north it's freezing cold. And this a living off of the road is getting pretty old. Up on Cripple Creek. Come on.
Woo!
Thank you.
Um,
Thank you very much.
We,
Some of the headlines, 3.3 million US adults were displaced by natural disasters last year.
Neat.
UK saw hottest ever year in 2022.
That's always hard to believe. That's about 1% of the entire United States population. US is around 300, 400 million.
No, it's not 1%.
3 million would be 1% of 300 million. It'd be a little less than 1%.
Pete,
Math
why are
No.
you using math at us? Why are you
Yeah,
throwing math?
No.
That's not fair, Pete.
That's not actually
Yeah.
pool,
true.
bro. Dirty pool,
That,
bro.
not
We
even in the,
understand
not
wind
even in
currents and rain.
the,
Actually, it
It's
says more than
metric.
1.3% of the adult population. Maybe he's right. Maybe his
Maybe.
weather.
Maybe.
Okay,
He's
first of all,
right.
we know
Oh,
Pete's right. We know Pete's
yeah.
right. This is not in dispute.
Yeah.
However, we're
Pete is
arguing.
always right.
I'm arguing because I'm a combative jerk and bringing math. We understand air currents and downpours and weather related type thingamajiggers. Math, no, Pete, bad. You and your
Alright.
lift life.
That's the
Did you
most
hear
math
about
that I've
the-
done.
Did you hear about when you're crossing the United States for Canada, the border guards ask you a lot of questions to say, what's your business, what's your purpose, thing, what you're doing, and things like this, etc.
Yeah, they
that.
do. The Canadian border customs is a lot more strict than I found the US Mexico ones to be. Coming back from Mexico, I was in Mexico for Christmas, and coming back from there, they didn't really they were pretty quick about it.
So okay,
Going into Mexico, they're
1.3%.
just like, you gotta fill out a form and stuff. But I found last time I was in Canada, it flew through there. They I don't want to say they were jerks, but they were sort of like a little bit more firm.
Jerks. Dude,
Yeah,
they're
they're
jerks.
jerks.
It's
Yeah, they're
okay.
jerks.
I
They're
want to
jerks.
say it, but I want to say it for you. More than 1.3% of the adult population in the US. So this is true in the last year. This is what this article is saying on Weatherbug. Household pulse survey, 3.3 million adults displaced by hurricanes, floods, fires, tornadoes, and other disasters. So that's
What about
incredible.
what about that other customs, Russian customs?
Russian
Happen
customs.
to
Yeah,
have
and-
customs?
In Russia, they're really nice when you cross the border there. That's all they're so kind to you.
They're so kind that they might not let you come back out of the other side of the border. They might be like, "Oh,
Hey,
welcome home. You're staying."
what about the Libya customs and China customs?
Libya to China? China
Yeah.
customs, China is usually all right, but if you think, they could be a little bit harsh sometimes. China customs. So I had one time where they set me aside and talked to me for a little while, and then one time coming out of China. Long story, though. No real problems.
This
No,
is
they
a
don't play.
tornado.
They don't play. You don't want to argue with Chinese customs. You don't want to argue with them. That's for sure.
This was the
What-
tornado in
What
Illinois
about
this
that
week.
other country, Libya?
I have no clue.
Look at those wind. Look at that. Those big wind turbines just giving her. There's a tornado. This was in Illinois on January 3rd. And wow, that's quite the
Wow.
tornado.
Oh yeah. I'd say it was I think it was rated E.
Tornadoes
yeah.
can produce
Something
large
like that.
hail.
So that's something we know about the tornado that was seen this week. That's Maroa, Illinois. So there's our weather. There's our tornado report. We knew. What about trying to get into Japan, Frankie? What's the border
Different.
guards like there?
That means that did you hear about this? Australian customs is really strict.
Is it?
I believe that. I believe that. You know, in Australia, you need a prescription for melatonin. That seems sort of
Wow.
absurd to me. Yeah.
That's
That is-
insane.
They don't.
Yeah,
They
it
don't
is.
want. They don't want. They don't want people sleeping to death down there, Pete. Come on.
Yeah, with all them spiders and
Dang.
snakes and stuff, a good night's sleep.
That
God
means
forbid.
that means that it's really strict to leave Australia to another country.
It is.
What's it?
I don't know. I don't know much about Australia. Well, I know some
It's
about
the
Australia.
land
I
down
listened
under.
to Bill Burr's. He had a book. I listened to the audio book about his whatever.
What's it like
Australia.
trying
Australia's
to?
greatest-
What's it like trying to cross the Alberta border there, Brandon?
Alberta borders within the country, Canada.
Well, crossing the Alberta border, you probably wouldn't even know you're in Alberta until you see a nice prairie sky, Chinook Arch. That's what's like crossing the Alberta border.
When I was on tour with Bob Wayne and the Outlaw Carnies, or Joey on the Outlaw Band, we had one of those big
That
15.
means that in the British
Hey,
Columbia,
Frankie.
over in Quebec, one side of the road is Canada, other side of the road is the United States.
That's right. So we're on tour with this outlaw country band, Bob Wayne and the Outlaw Carnies, and he was one of those he's one of those best friends of Hank Williams III. He's a total bad dude. He's cool, but he wasn't really supposed to be in Canada necessarily. But here we are on tour, and he was really scared about getting caught. So as we're driving along on Highway 16, the sign says Alberta border 2 kilometers, and then I'm like, oh my God, Bob, the Alberta border. He's driving. I'm in the front passenger seat, and he's like, "What?" I'm like, "We got to cross the Alberta border." I didn't even think about it. Like, you're gonna get busted. He's like, "No, what?" And it's like totally got him panicking, right?
That's Montana Alberta border. It's like the
No,
federal border.
I'm talking Highway 16 going into Alberta from British Columbia, and but then you pass the sign. It says welcome to Wild Rose Province." Big board. It's a big billboard type sign. And Bob says, "Oh, you were just getting me going." I was like, no, man, the actual border crossings up ahead, you'll see. And then so of course you get up a little further and you have Jasper National Park, and they have the little booth there where they take your money. But this had Bob freaked, right? And I was like, whatever you do, just keep your American mouth shut. I'll talk our way through this. And then so we pull up, and dude's like, "Hey, visiting to Jasper?" I was like, "Yeah, actually, our band's playing tonight. Can you want to go see the show?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, hey, where?" And and then we drive off, and Bob's like, "Oh, you're such a jerk."
It's a good story.
Yeah. Oh, I really had him panicking for a minute. He's like, "Oh, you're gonna get totally busted at the Alberta border, man."
Well, it's not far
Man.
if some of those folks had their way.
But some of the states, see, this
No.
is a reasonable thing for an American to think, because some states, when you cross from state to state, you got to pass through some sort of a thing where you talk to some kind of a guy. There's some of the
Sound
big
like the
interstates are like
best backseat driver, Joey. Don't panic. Don't panic.
that.
Don't pay.
Don't panic.
No, we didn't pay to get into Jasper National Park. We stayed at the hotel where we played. I can't remember the name of the hotel. It's a real big, nice one. It was one of those times where you said the sits or something like that. I don't know. Anyways, what's it like trying to get into Greenland, Frankie?
That means you have to go through Canada EU customs.
Right.
Did you know that island is now, once it's ratified by both the Danish Parliament and the Canadian Parliament, Hans Island in between Greenland and Ellesmere Island will be both Canadian and Danish, with a border right through the middle,
Greenland is part of the European Union.
and giving Canada 2 countries that they have a border with. It used to be just Canada, United States. Now it's Canada and Denmark.
And this is really good.
Border.
Denmark is within the
So
European
Canada
Union.
is now also an expansionist empire like Russia.
It always was.
We
Canada
didn't.
has a border with Norway
No, that's
too.
what happens, Pete, when 2 nations can make an agreement on something instead
Well,
of.
because the next time Canada and Denmark need to have a war,
Ah.
now we have a place to sit down and have a game of hockey.
The Hans Island Friendship Summit. We're trying to turn this into
like-
this.
Next time it's like it's going to be a big
Ah.
war between Canada and Denmark for some reason. We'll just have a big hockey game up there on our island that we friggin' own
Well,
together.
you know what the actual
Because that's
war
what
is
you
for?
do when you're Northerners. You just play hockey.
Well, what
And
they
then the
did-
loser has to basically give you a bunch of money or something. Whatever the war was over has to give you all their fish. Or
Well, before they figured out this entire the border thing, the Canadian military would come, put a Canadian flag and a bottle of Canadian Club. They'd take off, and then a few years later, or whenever the Danish decided that it was gonna be their turn, they would go on the island, plant a Denmark flag, and then whatever a drink of Danish custom was
Denmark flag
so-
and European Union flag.
and the idea behind this is how we passively aggressively were fighting this war over this island, because what happens when you drink liquor in the Arctic is you could freeze to death very easily, right? So
I heard
trying
that
our best,
Croatia joined the European Union.
spies, the Canadian military and the Danish military trying to get each other drunk, trying to freeze each other to death. One of us will get the island, but now not anymore. Now we own the island together,
Well,
I guess.
together.
Isn't that nice?
Exactly. It's very nice.
Sound
It's
like the
green
chick from
Canada
Pirates of
land.
the Caribbean.
Well, we
Where the
almost
rum
we almost had Caribbean countries join Canada.
Turks and Caicos.
Yes, that is correct.
The
That
King
was
Charles
almost our
rules
Hawaii.
Turks and Caicos and Cayman Islands. King Charles rules Turks and Caicos and Cayman Islands. It's because it's a British rule. King Charles rules those islands.
Turks
What
and
would have
Caicos.
happened is it would have got gentrified with all of Canada's wealthiest people, and
That's one
we'd never
reason
get to
why
go
we
there.
don't-
It'd be like
That's one
Florida all
reason
over
why-
again.
Just imagine if big volcano erupted and created a new island in the South Pacific somewhere. What happens if they became part of Russia? What's that mean?
Hey,
I
did you
guess that'd be
know?
Russia's new island.
Did you know that in Russia there's two TV channels? Channel 1 is propaganda, and channel 2 is KGB officer saying "turn back at once" to channel 1.
Awesome.
Thank you. That was a Yakov Smirnoff joke. Thank you.
I miss him.
He was awesome. What a country.
You've been kind of quiet, Imogen, and you got all kinds of wind and stuff going on in Victoria. Talk to us, Imogen Cookie Bailey.
Lots of wind, light rain, lots of trash blowing around. It is kind of nice because it blows the hippie smell away, but it's a little windy. So
And you can
That's
get
what's
trash
been
in your
going on.
eyes if you're not careful in Victoria.
yeah, it's I mean, to be fair, there are a lot of people smoking pot in public, and it kind of, when we get nice wind, it actually kind of makes the smell go away. So it's
Right.
nice to have a little
You
fresh
getting
air.
tired of it already?
No, see, I love weed. I just don't want to smell it all the time. I love
I
it
do.
when I want
Yeah.
to smoke it, and I don't want to make
That's like
other
some
people.
places in Colorado. It's like I
Yeah.
can smell it sometimes from my car from outdoors. Like I'll be
Yeah.
driving through certain areas, and I guess there's big grows some places, and I'll be like, say even my passenger or something, and it's just it just seeps through the car.
It smells.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you get those tornadoes in Colorado sometimes, and that blows the hippie smell away.
Yeah, we get some good cool winds out here.
Did Hurricane Fiona blow the hippie smells away, Frankie?
They blow a lot of it.
A lot of it, yeah.
Well, that's a win. Earlier
We didn't hear what you
today-
say. Could you repeat that, Frankie? Did the Hurricane Fiona blow the hippie smells away, Frankie?
Yeah.
Yeah, it did. Sent them to
love-
Newfoundland.
I love the way Frankie says that. He's so matter of fact. Just yeah, it did.
That's why they need those west winds on the west coast for sure. Like West Coast is where a lot of that hippie smell is concentrated, you know.
Dear Lord, you guys are just loving
Sometimes,
that, aren't you?
yeah.
It's a
Sometimes the
thing
strong
here, man.
winds. Sometimes the strong winds in Alberta blow all the mosquitoes across the province, all the way to Saskatchewan, where the strong winds continue to blow them eastwardly, and they keep showing. And eventually, they all hit the buildings of Winnipeg and settle, and that's why there's a lot of mosquitoes there.
Hey, why is Manitoba so windy? Because Saskatchewan sucks and Ontario blows.
Ah,
That was terrible.
Was that one any better, Pete?
it was, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. For sure.
You can tell a Manitoban, but you can't tell them much.
What's the best thing to come out of Saskatchewan? An empty bus. But thank you, thank you.
Okay, someone's gotta go. Who's got something?
Actually,
You're listening to.
You could probably edit that joke out there.
I like
Oh,
that
come
one.
on.
Well,
Nah,
because
you got-
Saskatchewan's a province where you can go to the second floor of your house and watch your. For 3 days, you can watch your wife run away.
See, I always heard that joke is you could just spend a weekend watching your dog run away, but I guess in some areas it's the same thing.
No, you go get your dog. It's like, oh, there
Yeah.
it is. You go get it.
Saskatchewan, easy to draw, hard to spell.
Or go
Well, I
see a cow
mean,
or deer
If you
or
can teach your
horse
wife to
or
fetch, then
I
Throttle back.
I thought you were
guys,
going
throttle
that
back.
direction with it from the
Yeah, okay.
second off.
Whole new slate. You're listening to the CoMedeorological Report on CFUR 88.7 FM, CKW 95.9 FM in Winnipeg. It's your show about how much the weather sucks in Canada. And yeah, it sucks. Actually, it's really boring lately. It's that's how I'd characterize the weather. And you know, it's hard to
Brandon's
make a weather
yawning.
show. I'm like really trying to talk about weather this week, and there's nothing, you know. And then every time I try to talk, my broken tooth just makes me hate my life. And
what did
and
he
then
do?
luckily for me, Frankie came up with Cal Wealth, and that got me back into a good mood. I'm you know, I don't care how much my face hurts. I can't wait to see another Cal Wealth video.
So I'm just gonna throw this out there. This is our first show after New Year's, and like everyone is just completely dead quiet. Are you all recovering from New Year's, or have you just gotten so bored with the year already that you have nothing to say?
I've been laughing the whole time.
I watched
You're
movies with my
yawning.
children. I
Okay,
watched movies with
Drove
my
Lyft
children New
throughout
Year's
New
Eve.
Year's till like 4 a.m. and then I was downtown. I had a friendly group of some Latin passengers and I played some reggaeton and there was no way we were gonna get them to their destination by midnight. So we watched the fireworks from the moonroof downtown. So I just met these people like 5-10 minutes before the midnight fireworks happened, and so I watched some fireworks in downtown Denver with some strangers for New Year's Eve, which was kind of different. I definitely have never had a New Year's like that.
That sounds
They all
pretty
wear
neat, actually.
sunglasses.
I
Yeah,
like
when
that.
it got close to midnight countdown, all the traffic just stopped. Everyone just started walking in the road. All the cars just started beeping and stuff. But we got a really good angle to see the fireworks. So not perfect angle, but it was good enough. And the finale pretty much finished right when I got them to their destination, which was just like the walking area. That was a better place to view the fireworks from than my car, but it worked out.
After I got done after I got done watching movies with the kids and then putting them to bed, then I hit a couple bong hits and was real baked, and played a game of hockey or baseball or something on my PS4. And at some point I was like, oh yeah, it's New Year's Eve. I wonder how long till New Year's Eve. And I turned on my phone and it said 12:03. And I was like, next.
Yeah, you were messaging me. You were messaging me that you lost track of New Year's until after the fact.
Yeah,
Hey, the clock changed. I think I sent you some photos from that night. The ones that I could send. I was hanging out with some friends behind a wall of silence and anonymity. But
a wall of silence and anonymity and nudity. Nudity.
Yes. but it was good times with people I hadn't seen in a while. So that was kind of
right
fun.
on.
And I had told a friend that at midnight on New Year's, I would be wearing the Count Chocula suit and I'd be blowing fireballs. And that's exactly what I did. So I was blowing fireballs and dressed as Count Chocula and also as a very gay disco ball. So
That seems really dangerous to be blowing fireballs in a highly flammable costume. I mean, that's definitely not made of Nomex.
no, there's a lot of the way that I do it, there's a lot of, it's like a magic trick. It's that I am wearing something that is very extremely flammable and extremely dangerous. However, I've got a little trick in how I handle my accelerants so it doesn't pose a risk. It's not going to get into it because pretty weirdly technical and invisible, and it'll ruin the trick. But there is a way of doing very dangerous things in a very safe way. So
I get it. I don't believe you.
oh, I know you don't. I'm not just being reckless. I just prefer to come across that way. I want it to appear that way.
She doesn't have a
Is that-
plan. She's just trying to reassure us that she won't burn her hair.
Oh no, dude, my hair is intact. Like there's a lot of finer points to it. Like I was doing a blowing fire one time and the wind changed direction. And that's one of the more dangerous elements. As you know, you deal with fire. Change of direction in the wind means that fire is going the other way. And I blew a rather large, about a 5 to 6 foot column, and the wind changed direction aggressively and blew it right back in my face. So my entire head was on fire. But I had everything secured and protected. And the only damage was that my eyelashes got a little bit singed because I didn't put a protective coat on my eyelashes. But everything else.
People are like, that was awesome.
Oh yeah. And like I did prolonged sustain on it. Like I held it for, a solid 45, 60 seconds. Like
that. I think you should become a wildfire fighter. And if you join our crew, and we'll go out there. And when the red shirts are like, okay, you got to backburn this whole section. We'll be like, Imogen, get to work. And she'd be like,
there's a lot to it. And it's
just burning the whole friggin' forest down and
yeah,
setting that back burn up, man. That'd be one way to do a back burn. That'd be pretty cool. Maybe not as cool as dropping those big orbs from the helicopter, but cool nonetheless.
Super fun, yeah. And so that was my New Year's, and then a couple of days later, I got a message from a magazine that I knew was going to be running some of my imagery, and I discovered that they actually put me on the cover. So New Year's was Count Chocula and fireballs and a lot of sparkly stuff. And then a couple days later, I found out that I'm on the cover of a fashion magazine that is not the kind of magazine that, it's not the kind of outlet that typically runs my imagery, but definitely more of the Versace, Dolce & Gabbana crowd, which is kind of wild. And then this morning I woke up to a message that the other magazine that's going to be running my work wants to do a big interview with me. So later this month, that's happening. Neat.
Get on. It's moving forward.
It's been a wild first few days of the year, just saying. There's, all sorts of stuff going on, and then a whole bunch of stuff that's hidden by non-disclosure agreements and whatnot, but there's so much going on behind the scenes. It's pretty crazy. So
disclosure agreements. I don't believe you. Joe Stover, what do people do in what do people do up there? What do people do up there New Year's Eve?
They fire
in Churchill, Manitoba.
There's there's house parties. There's all sorts of, there's the bar has a big soiree on the go. So kind of like any other town, except, and I'm sure there's some other towns that do this. I've been in some towns in Newfoundland that have done this. But once midnight comes, everyone da 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 and all da 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 da. You smooch, smooch, smooch. Then they grab their guns and go outside and fire off a bunch of bullets. So so a lot of rural folk do that. So
you have a rule when you enter Wells that says no firearms discharged in this town.
Because I got low battery on my phone. I'm changing phones now.
Okay, Frankie, we'll see you in a little bit.
Frank, Pete, I got a quick question for you now that I have the floor here. Are you a big Corey Hart fan? Do you know who Corey Hart is?
Hell yeah.
Not familiar with the name, to be honest with you.
So he also wears his sunglasses at night. What gives?
Oh, I know that song. I think there's also a Lil Wayne song that's similar, but
so do the Blues Brothers.
Corey Hart. Be ashamed.
So do the Blues Brothers.
Oh, the Blue
And then
Brothers.
and
you
also the way the street lamp makes the sunglasses glow, I was just entertaining myself.
It's cool, man. It's cool. But the Blue Brothers, Jake and his silent brother Elwood.
Yeah, man. The Blues Brothers. They got 100 miles to Chicago. And we're wearing sunglasses.
And Timbuk 3 says, "My future's so bright, I gotta wear shades."
Yeah, the Justin Bieber, he probably wears sunglasses at night.
Yeah, seems like that kind of.
He's not as
douchebag.
cool as the Blues Brothers, so I don't think there's any
No.
standard for whether you for who gets to wear sunglasses at night.
I think if you're cool like Pete, then you're allowed.
I think
Yeah.
Pete's
Pete's allowed
roster
to
is
do
pretty neat.
anything. I'm not convinced that Pete's even wearing pants. Pete does what he wants.
There's two
Frankie-
laws: man's law and Pete's law.
Frankie, what did you do on New Year's Eve in
That's
Sydney,
right.
Nova
I
Scotia?
went to the
Right.
bars and dance and things like this.
Yeah, what
Yeah.
kind of band was playing?
And season bands playing, other bands playing, then a countdown.
Yeah, did girls kiss you?
And they danced with me as well.
Man, you had a better New Year's Eve than I did. In fact, you had a better New Year's Eve than I had the last 2 years of my life.
Poor Joey only. That seems about a third of every episode of the shows is the woes of Joey.
I'm not woeing that hard. You're like the first people I've talked to all week, though, besides children. Crickets.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
If it was like I saw Norma at the store. Yeah, there we go. So that's what happened in Wells this week. Here's a report. This week in Wells. Well, I went to a store and got eggs, and there was Norma. And I said, "Hi, Norma." She said, "Hi, Joey." Said,
And that's pretty normal for you.
"Nice weather." She said, "Yeah." And I said, "Okay, bye now."
That was deep. That was so deep. Deep like the mines of Minolta.
That's my week in Wells. Just hanging out. I got no vehicle right now, so I'm just sort of just chilling.
Just existing.
Yeah, man. Sometimes that's like that in life.
Being
Hey,
one
Brandon.
of the
Down and enjoy your EI and spend time with the kids. And it's not very good radio, is it? Holy boy.
Brandon,
Yeah,
Brandon
Yes.
House. I'd like the Brooks Bandits report, please.
Oh, yes, the Brooks Bandits report. So this week, I think the last time we lost the game was back in December, middle of December. So we started playing a couple of games this week. We started back up again after the Christmas break. So we won our first game at least 6-1. And that was the day when I had to, we had some technical difficulties in a real country booth. So I had to move over to our other station booth, and everything is like flipping backwards in there. So I had to.
When does the Brooks Bandits start their playoffs?
That's right. Also, this week, yes, the Brooks Bandits did clinch the playoff spot. So we're going to the playoffs again this year. And we won again the other night, 3-2. Oh, yeah, it was 5-3 over the Drumheller Dragons. We were down 3-1. We came back to win that one 5-3. So that was an exciting game over those Drumheller Dragons. We're like big rivalries with the Drumheller Dragons. So that was the story there. And then we're playing tomorrow night in Fort McMurray. So they're up in the bus heading up to Fort McMurray to play the Fort McMurray Oil Barons tomorrow night. And then they're back down to Bonnyville Saturday night to play the Bonnyville Pontiacs. So it's going to be an exciting weekend of hockey, not in Brooks, but on the radio station. That's for sure.
It'll be an exciting weekend for you at the radio station.
Well,
And what was your New Year's Eve like in Brooks,
hockey.
Alberta? What do they do in Brooks, Alberta for New Year's? Some cowboy dancing going on at the hotel or something like that?
Yeah, of course, cowboy dancing. You get there's a guy named DJ Otto. He's down at the Brooks Hotel and does he has a spotlight going on top of the roof of the hotel there, but I didn't go to the Brooks Hotel. I was invited to a friend's place for New Year's Eve. There we had a fondue party, and it was a lot of food. We had like tiger shrimp. We had what else? We had elk. We had
Ooh.
steak. We had
Elk.
lobster, all in a fondue. Like
God dang, Brian.
That's all the stuff that I can no longer chew. That sounds really good though. My new strategy is to never eat again.
And we're just going to circle back to Joey's sadness. Thanks,
Shut
Joey. Brandon had a wonderful New Year's where he got to eat elk and giant shrimps and all sorts
And
of
I
weird
drank
stuff,
like
but
a
we're gonna
bottle of
circle back
wine.
to Joey's sadness.
I don't drink either, Brandon.
Let's just take a moment and be sad for Joey.
I'm not sad at all. I'm just talking trash. I have a
You're
good
just
life.
mourning all the wonderful things that you'll never eat again.
Well, in
all the
some
wonderful
ways,
elks you'll never
actually,
chew on.
in some ways, actually, I'm having an easier time eating since that piece broke off. Because it was like the cavity, everything would get so stuck in there that it was really.
Get a gold tooth.
There you go.
Pirate salad.
So you had a
Get a
DJ at the
Johnny
Brooks
Dang.
Hotel. How come you didn't have a cowboy band playing at the Brooks Hotel? That doesn't make sense to
There's
me.
cowboy bands. They had a couple months ago. They had Afro Man there. So
I know, but
anything
it's New
goes at
Year's
the Brooks
Eve. You don't have
Hotel.
like someone like Tim Huss or some, there's a
I
lot of
was
good.
gonna clean my room, then I got high.
Yeah.
And if you're down in Nanton at the Auditorium Hotel, for example, you would have had someone like Tim Huss or something, like
Oh, yeah.
Then I got high.
DJs at the Brooks Hotel.
That's right.
Oh man, Alberta's changing.
No,
It's that cocaine, I tell you.
Because I got high.
That cocaine? What?
I was gonna go to school, then I got high.
Alberta's changed the last 20 years since the cocaine. Frankie McDonald, how does everyone find you on the wide world of the web?
My Twitter is @FrankieMcD. My Facebook is Frankie McDowell. My Instagram is FrankieMcD984. My TikTok's FrankDown984. My Clap is FrankDown984. My Twitch is FrankDown984. My Snapchat is FrankieMACDON. And my YouTube channel, Stocks and Whoops, and my LinkedIn is Frankie McDowell. Best of luck, yeah, I'm Frankie McDowell. You're listening to CoMedeorological Weather Report, which all you only every Thursday night at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 7 p.m. Atlantic Standard Time.
Right on, everybody. That's true. The Comedy Plus Meteorology Report. Comedeorology is science that we invented. It's a real science about how funny the weather can be. That's right. You've been listening to us with Brandon Houck down in Brooks, Alberta, and Pete Galenko in Boulder, Colorado, and Joe Stover up in Churchill, Manitoba, and Imogen Cookie Bailey down there in Victoria. I'm Joey Broken Tooth only. And you've been hearing our show on CKW. Did I say that? No, CKW 959. And C4 88.7 FM. Thank you very much. Radio stations.
Monica's doing great so far. Monica Bowley's doing great. She's doing really well.
So that's everyone. Monica's doing really well.
Which is a nice contrast to
Awesome.
Joey's sadness.
That's true. She doesn't have any broken teeth.
No, she does not have any broken teeth. She has an absolutely beautiful smile. Monica
That's
is
true.
an absolute doll, 100% through and through. She's a sweetheart.
That is true.
No broken teeth. Joey,
No
don't
broken
fall.
teeth.
We'll save that for Joey. New Year's summary and Joey's sadness.
I'm not sad. I'm just in pain.
There is a difference. There is a difference. I hear you on that one, Joey. There is a difference.
Yeah.
Sometimes people hurt are not angry. They just don't feel good.
They just don't
So,
like chewing food
I feel
anymore.
like you're both sad and don't feel good, though, to be honest with you. I don't mean to be mean, but
I'm pretty content besides the fact I can't eat anymore,
well,
Can't
that's
chew
a
on an
big
elk.
thing.
Joey can't bite
Other
an elk for the time
Other
being.
than not eating anymore. Life's great. Who needs food anyways? I'm just going to rise above that
I'm just gonna
transcendentally.
smoke my pizza. I'm just saying.
Get some
your pizza.
insurance. Have you tried insurance? I lived off them things for a long time.
Is there milk in them?
I believe they have dairy-free ones, but I think there is dairy in those. I don't think they're milk-based, like necessarily. Like milk base, but I do believe there's dairy in them. I'm not 100% on that one.
My God, everybody, this is what it's come to. I'm talking about whether or not to eat and to live off Ensure. This has been our show for this week. I'm Joey Only here in Wells, British Columbia,
Or
living our
Bruce.
heart up in the mountains, man. Yeah, send me your Ensures. And good luck this week. Be safe out there. Good thing the weather's pretty boring. Bye for now.
Bye.
This has been Joey's descent into geriatric aging.
Gosh.
Yeah.
You're relentless,
happens.
Joey.
It'll happen to you too next year, Imogen.
In one fell swoop, Joey
Next
turns
year.
95. One move. That's all it took.
I'm in Aurora, Colorado right now. It took me a while to try to find a backdrop that had a little bit of snow and nature. Well, I mean, there's still
Imogen's-
snow on it now.
Imogen's like a cover girl, and she's laughing at my broken face. It's how appropriate.
Joey, we're the same age.
It'll happen to you next year, I promise.
Why
You
do you
just-
think it
it'll
hasn't?
catch up.
How many teeth do you think I have? I mean, I've got a few rows, so I can afford to lose a couple, but
At least 20,
Yeah, Joey,
not
you
enough.
got Joey,
maybe 30.
You got to get rid of that Saskatchewan bus joke. I forgot that bus jokes in Saskatchewan don't really fly. Humboldt Broncos and all of that. So
Yeah,
I think
okay,
it-
fair enough.
Joey, did you stop the recording yet?
No,
It'd
I
be
haven't.
Nice if
But
the
it's 8
show was
o'clock, so I'm going to
earlier.
stop it right now. And don't worry, I'll
I
edit that out anyways.
good
I
man.
saw some pretty sweet winterscapes earlier today, but we always record at nighttime, so it's
I'll film ahead of time. Okay. I'm going to stop recording because I'm going to have too much stuff to work with. Frankie's gone.
yeah, dude, video clips. Get some
Frankie,
video clips during the day. Do what the rest of us jerks do. Make some pointless videos of yourself looking at stuff and say,
Looking
hey,
at the
here's some
blue
shit that I'm
sky.
seeing. Here's some weather.
Nice
Here's a
day
mountain.
today.
There's
Yo.
a dog.
Yo,
Yeah,
what up?
man.
What up, Pete Nation? It's your boy Pete. Here we are. I'm just driving around my lift. Oh my God, look at that beautiful mountain. Look at that one. Look at that one. All right, well, that's enough for now.
It's a
Pete
motherfucking
Nation,
mountain.
toodaloo. What's
That
Yeah.
sure is a beautiful mountain.
There's a mountain goat.
There's some highway. There's some
Do
highway.
you guys see the
More
beautiful
highway.
mountain too?
I'm in Aurora right now. I can't see the mountains from here. But earlier today, though, I was off of there's a road called Gun Club Road, and over by
Oh,
the
Brooks has a road like that too. Gun Club Road.
Everywhere has a gun club road.
out there. It's far out there, and over by the Space Force base, and
Force base.
yeah, the Space Force base. No joke, it's high security.
How
over
come you
there.
don't talk about this when we're
recording? This is a Space
Oh,
Force fucking
That's fine.
Gonna need y'all to head down.
Seriously,
You can see,
Pete, what the hell is
pictures
wrong
on
with
my
you?
Twitter.
What's
Way to
it
drop the
doing
ball,
on
you
Earth?
asshole.
Oh, I don't know. There's not much
Space
to add to it.
Force base. Do you know how much
Go
There's
fucking
a
dead
Space
air
Force
we
base in
have?
Colorado, yes.
Gonna need
And
y'all to
I
go down
seen
Gun
it.
Club
I seen
Road,
it earlier today, and there was a lot of
right by the Space
Okay,
Force
security
base.
and barbed wire.
Can you drive past it and get a little video clip of the fucking Space Force base?
I got pictures of it. I could share pictures in the group chat,
I
but
hate
there's
you.
no pictures on. You can't take. But there's really cool.
Hi, I'm
Like
Pete. I
you'll
drive
see.
left
I'll
and deal
send.
with
I'll
Bitcoin
send
and
pictures in the
crypto.
group chat. There's these.
Nothing interesting happens to me except the
Well,
one
don't
I won't
just
tell
don't go
anyone.
down.
There's these
don't
like
Gee,
they
Pete.
they have these
Just
I don't know
past
if they're
Hunt
like-
Club Road down by the Space Force base.
Now listen. Now here's the thing. You're gonna go down Gun Club Road, but not too far because otherwise you'll end up at the gun club.
Take a left turn at where
It's
the bomb
around
went down
6
last
to
year.
Gun Club, around that
If you
way,
get
and
to
then
the
there's
gun club, you've gone too far.
and then it's over, yeah, and then it's not too far from. There's a place called Gaylord Rockies, which is actually a really big resort. It has like
Gaylord
10
Rockies.
restaurants there.
Yeah.
It sounds.
I
very
kind of want
odd
to go there
name.
now.
Yeah, it has an odd name. I drove
I'm
one
never
of the
gonna not giggle
employees
on
there.
Gaylord. Just saying.
after that. But but it's like a ridiculously like I didn't even realize it was out there. I've heard commercials for it before, but I had no clue what it was. But it's just a big old resort, and apparently they have like an ice skating rink
A lot
inside
of
of it right now
gaylords.
for the winter.
It's a queer resort.
I don't think it is. I don't think it's
Someone-
themed like what you think it's themed. I think it's
Don't
just
ruin
You
it.
just go past the Hunt Club Road down there, and then
Gaylord
once you go
Lane.
past the Space Force base, pretty soon
the
you get
fuck
to
are
the
you?
Gaylord Resort.
Pete,
the
what kind of fucking
Gaylord
Mary
Rockies.
Melodies are you
Gaylord
throwing
Rockies
in?
is not too
I
far
just-
from the Gun Club Road and the Space Force bases. Right.
You live in a fucking Spike and Mike cartoon, you dick. Like, why don't you talk about this ever?
I just
Is
googled.
that
I just googled the closest gun club road to Churchill, Manitoba, and there is a gun club road in Silver Creek Township, Minnesota, USA, and that's the closest
And
one
I
to. That's the closest
also-
one to Churchill.
No,
another
there's gotta be
one?
gun
I
club
had
roads in
I
Manitoba.
drove a
No,
fully
sir.
uniformed police officer earlier today, and she had her gun with her. She had everything. She had all of her gear, and I was like, I was like, should I drive like it's driving school? If I drive too fast, are you gonna give me a ticket? And she was really cool. She was like, I hope you get a lot of business, make a lot of money the rest of the day.
That is awesome. It's a real thing.
Heading down the gun club road.
That's because your roads are named with boring. They're just like, where's Melbourne Road Gun Club? It's on Road 67 in Sydney, Manitoba. Road 67.
I can't even
That
get a
doesn't-
That's why you don't have a
decent
gun
count on
club
that. What
road
the
in
hell?
Manitoba, because your
There's
roads
no
have
such
no
thing.
imagination to their name.
Exactly. Head down 67 north, right over there by Skeeter's place. But if you hit the gun club, you've gone too far.
Hey, Gaylord Rockies are in the right spot.
Yeah, just down by the Manitoba Space Force.
Gaylord
base.
Rockies actually looked really nice, and it didn't. There was nothing really. Didn't. It's like a They have like I drove somebody that works there. They have like 10 restaurants, and it's like a massive facility, like mountain resort, but not in the mountains. Like, and I don't necessarily think it's a gay only type of place.
Are there
I think
bears there?
I'm so
I think that this happens to be the name.
Well, you're
of
not
their-
there.
Are there bears?
I don't know, but
Oh my God, Pete.
They're
There
There
ain't
ain't no
big-
bears
big-
there, I guess.
They're
Say
big,
no.
cuddly bears.
No
Very,
bears.
very hairy. Very, very hairy
Yeah.
bears.
No
I
bears
gotta
for
get
Pete.
going because I gotta be somewhere else in like a few minutes. So I gotta run. I'll talk to you all
All
later.
right.
And
Good
Pete,
thing
by
you're
the
good at
way,
running.
Fuck you for overlooking all your awesomeness.
Yeah, can we
Taking
talk
your
about the Space
usual-
Force fucking base next week?
Bye.
seriously?
yeah, I'll share. I will sign off now, and I'll share. Oh, I need to re-download. I need to make space on my phone and re-download Messenger.
I don't care what y'all
No,
want to do.
next week.
Fix
Next
it.
week we're talking Space
when I-
Force base.
When I get back home though, on my laptop, I will share the pictures on my laptop on the
Hey,
Messenger group.
Hey, you.
I
Hey,
get the
Pete.
Messenger notifications on my phone, but I can't open them because I got to re-download Messenger, and my phone has been
Oh my
glitchy.
God.
I swear it's just because the new iPhone's coming out. It's been
Pete,
glitchier
shut
than
up.
usual.
Yeah,
Pete,
Pete.
Pete,
Yeah, we don't
For
care.
the love of
Next
Christ,
week we're gonna
Pete,
talk about the
this-
Space Force base.
I need
All
a
right,
picture
I got
of the
some
Gun
good
Club
pictures
Road.
of the Space Force base. Is all I'm saying. All
Yeah,
right,
we'll
I'll
talk
share
about
with
them
y'all.
next week.
Gun
Though,
Club
yeah.
Road.
Don't even worry about
That's
sending them
all I
tomorrow
want,
because
goddamn you.
Okay, if y'all
this
can get
deserves a
tomorrow-
whole fucking episode.
Fuck you,
Where
Pete.
the hell did he go? Bullshit, Pete.
Fuck you, Pete.
Bullshit. Bullshit.
Pete, when you see this,
Pete.
if you watch this
For
later,
Pete's sake,
get a
Pete.
fucking video clip of Gun Club Road, Gaylord
I want-
Rockies, Space Force base. Get a fucking video clip of it, you asshole, or at least some
Yeah.
photos.
Yeah. Gun Club. I want to see him picking somebody up on Gun Club Road. That's what I want.
Yeah, I want to see him running from a bear outside Gaylord Rockies.
I think it.
Ah,
This requires a whole
Falling in
episode.
honor.
he would try to reason with the bear. Come on, y'all. Go to therapy, y'all.
Pete's an otter. He'd do cute little human things with his hands and chirp at it. And be like,
That was a
"Please don't. I give you carrot. I give you salmon. Please don't."
totally awesome outburst. Of course, but that's why if you subscribe, you just never know, and you watch the live YouTube broadcast. Thanks everybody for watching online. Anybody who did, and yep, I'll make the produced show up in the morning and cut all the boring parts out and add funny things in. And I wish we'd got more about the Space fucking Force base down by the Hunt Club Road there.
Gun Club Road. Get it right.
Gun
On
Club
that
Road.
note, Pete can suck
You
it for
give-
that one.
You give Gun Club
All right,
Road
I'm
the
out.
respect it deserves.
Okay, everybody. We'll see you next week. Thanks for coming on, Joe. Man, I miss you.
Oh man, what a hoot! What a hoot!
That was fucked up.
Yeah. But no, honest to God, I was like, hey, "Are you still web streaming this?"
Yeah.
Never mind. Nothing. Anyway, it was good to talk to you guys. I missed the hell out of you folks, and I'm going to do my best to try and get on or at least send clips because I sure missed this.
Yeah, keep sending clips at least, if nothing else, man.
Okay.
You know, even if it's 30 seconds of hockey. Hey, Joe Stover this week, you know, and send it to me on Thursday night. Because
yeah, no, I can do, man. Can
you know, we like you a lot, and your personality adds a lot.
I
And,
appreciate.
Real Deal Northerner, that's just too fucking cool too, right? And you're on a CKW show.
Yeah,
it's really, you're an important person to have part of the show.
I appreciate that. It's I feel at home here, that's for sure. Brandon, good luck with your Bandits, and hopefully talk to you real soon.
Yeah, Huey Hooker's doing really well, by the way. So.
Oh my man! Hey,
Yeah.
Hey, whoa! National
How come you didn't bring that up,
Hooker.
Huey Hooker?
National champion Huey Hooker. National.
That's right.
Every time I hear his name, I fucking burst out laughing.
Huey Hooker. I'd love to be like, well, Brandon, you must hear it because you're listening to the game and whatnot. Can you do your best impression of the Brooks Bandits PA announcer when Huey Hooker scores?
Huey Hooker. Like that?
Yeah.